So, y'all, I have to come to y'all and I'm gonna bring it to y'all a little quick, but I have to tell y'all about my dream and how amazing God is, because he's truly amazing. The sun is like, I can't hide from the sun, and it's okay. Little sunglass, okay? Okay, so what happened in my dream was I went to God. I was praying as usual every morning. That's my normal routine, is just to pray. And so I was praying to God and I was like, God, order my steps. I want you to order my steps in your word. And then it came to me. It was like, no, God, not only do I want you to order my steps in your word, I want you to order my thoughts. Let me tell you what brought all this about. So yesterday, going into last night, I had so many people reach out to me. I have so many doors open for opportunity right now. I'm like, okay, I'm deciding what door can go in, what best fits, what's something that I can do that I can take with me everywhere I go, what's something that's more beneficial to me. And some of those things does have me coming out my comfort zone, and I'm okay with that. Even being on live, coming to do a video, that's way out of my comfort zone. So I'm like, okay, I don't know which way to go. So I'm like, God, I need you to order my steps in your word. I need you to not even just order my steps. I need you to order my my thoughts. Order my thoughts in your word. So what happened was I fell into a vision, and in the vision it was like I was trying to walk, and I really was trying to walk. In my mind, I'm walking, but when I look down, I see that I was in the same spot I was. And then I said, okay, maybe going forward isn't what it is for me. Maybe I need to turn to the left or turn to the right. So I turned to the left, and I was just walking and walking. In my mind, I'm mentally walking. But when I looked, I noticed that I'm not going anywhere. I'm doing all this walking, but I'm not going nowhere. But mentally, I want to go there. But then I had to remind myself that I had just asked God to order my thoughts. Now, it's crazy because, I'm going to tell you, one of the words that came to me was Ray-Ban. And that's a word that just the Spirit gave me. So I'm like, okay, now I got to look into Ray-Bans. What's funny is because I've been wearing glasses since I was 8 years old. And one of the things about it was I was very uncomfortable with my glasses. The nose pieces, some of my glasses had the nose pieces. These glasses, they don't have the nose pieces. It like fits on my nose. Ray-Bans, right? And I said, okay, so since the name Ray-Bans came to me, let me go and look up the origin of where it came from, when did it start, who came up with them, so I'm going to dig into some research on Ray-Bans today. So I went into research. I found out some interesting things, and further going into research, after reading, I went to YouTube and I said, let me look at some videos, see what people said, and I was intrigued by the camera that's on the glasses. You can record, take pictures, you can talk, microphones, everything. And I'm like, whoa, like, wow, okay. So I said, okay, let me see, because I still don't understand at this point why God led me in that direction. So I'm thinking like, maybe it's something like for my business to grow, something for me to get some knowledge of. So I said I'll research that all day until I figure out what's really going on, until he showed me something different. So, okay, so I goes and I get my coffee, and what happened was my coffee wasn't ready. And so they said, okay, so first they tell me, like, we don't have coffee. I said, yes, you do. You have coffee. I said, I worked at McDonald's for years. I said, even if you was to get buy a franchise that already exists, you can't change nothing in that franchise. It'll be the same thing whether you order a sandwich. It'll be made the same way. The way everything's ran is the same way, because even though you own a restaurant, you don't change a franchise. Okay, so they said, could you pull up and we'll bring you a coffee? And I'm like, okay, sure. Bring me my coffee. That'll be fine. So I wait and I'm talking about my vision, my dreams and stuff. First, I was amazed because the total came up to 777. And for anybody that knows me, that's my number. 777 is like, that's my number. And I identifiable with my social, right? 777. Okay, so when I go to the window, they said pull up. I pulled up and I'm talking, you know, about my visions, about my dreams, and I noticed that the time is flying. I said, okay, so like I said, I worked McDonald's 4 years. I said, coffee only take 4 minutes to make, and I've been sitting out here for amount of minutes. So I said, okay, in the middle of me talking, I opened my door, went in there, and I'm like, okay, what's going on? So the guy was like, oh shoot, like we never even started brewing your coffee as of yet. So I'm like, you haven't even started brewing my coffee as of yet? Okay. I said, you know what? I'll wait. I'll go back out in the car. So, because I already asked 2 people that I seen, because this is how lengthy the time was in me sitting waiting for my coffee. So I already told 2 people about my coffee when they was bringing food to the other cars that was parked in the parking spot. Mind you, they told me just pull up to the front. So when I go and confront them about the coffee, they told me, you know, just we'll do it now, you know, just give us a few minutes, because I know it don't take long to make. So I go back in the car, started running my mouth again, talking about my dreams, my visions. Of course, that's all I talk about. So in the midst of talking about it, so he comes to the window, he gave my coffee. So then before he even gave me the coffee, I was like, you know what, I had a dream this morning. And I said in my dream, what happened was I was trying to move, I was trying to walk, but I couldn't really walk. I said, it was like God had me in place, but even though my mind was telling me like, go do this, go do that, God was like, staying in here. So my mind is doing the normal things that it knows to do. And God is protecting me what he knows to do, because I asked him. So I was like, oh, I said, I get it now. I understand what's going on now. Now I said, when we have to wait for things, sometimes when we have to wait, it could be God protecting us in that time. See, if we would go off our own time, we could, in our own thinking, you know, things could happen. They're not saying they're going to happen, not saying wishing anything bad on ourselves or something like that, but being in the position of God, it will protect you. So I get the coffee and I'm telling about my dream, about how I tried to go forward, and it was like my mind was telling me, you know, you walk in, and then how I was standing still when I wanted to walk. And then I started talking about how I was starting going to the left, because okay, if I'm not moving forward, let me move to the side, because you know I got to keep on moving, you know, just like being on the bicycle, you know, we got to keep moving. If the moment you stop, you get off track, you're off balance. So I got to keep moving. So, and I told him about me turning to the left, and the same thing happened. My mind is telling me like, girl, you going? And I noticed I wasn't going anywhere. So after receiving the coffee and then moving forward, and by the time I made the first turn, I could see in the distance, I seen a car accident, and I seen the police getting out of the car. They was just now getting out of the car, and I was like, wow. Because a lot of times we feel like, because we have a driver license, and because, you know, we're not intoxicated, because we feel that, you know, we can, we're alert. You have to be the smartest driver on the road, because just because you're doing everything to a T, it doesn't mean the other drivers are obeying the road like as they should, and mistakes happen. I mean, I have seen people lose control, and it's not because they were under the influence. They were sometimes disturbed, phone call, texting, child in the back, medical issues. I just seen somebody on the highway, the interstate, you know, just fall out at the wheel. You know, thank God it was okay. I seen people trying to bust his windows out to get to him, because it was like in the middle of the road, all to find out that he had like a little seizure or something behind the wheel. So we can never underestimate nobody that's driving. We always know just to use common sense. Now, I say that because a lot of people feel like because the light is green, I can go. Okay, you have to clear the way first. I mean, because I don't care how many times I done seen people go through a yellow light. I've just seen people go through red lights. Just because your light is green doesn't mean go. Now, if you were taking a test and it was in the book and the book told you because that light is green, you can go, do not listen. Listen, use your common sense when you're on that road. Use your common sense, because it's devastating to see something happens, you know, and everybody arguing who's at fault. A lot of things could cause people to change up the regular way they do things. And so that's one of the main things that I wanted to say. I wanted to say, like, you know, always be the smartest person on the road. Now, going back to what I was saying before, I was coming out and I noticed that the car, it was an accident, 2-car accident. And I was like, ooh, look at the car over there, look at the car over there. So knocked them, clean out the block. The cops came up, you know, they was getting out of cars, was going by. And I was like, wow, you know, God has a funny way of protecting us. So my message out of all of this is, you know, be still and know that God is God. And once you ask him to direct your ways, your thoughts, trust that he's going to do that. And a lot of times we feel like we're being set back, or we feel like things aren't going our way, or we feel like, you know, why am I setting back? You know, why things not working for me? Why I feel like I'm being held up? Just know, sometimes the blessing is in you being held up. And if it's any time in your life you waiting for something, or it feels like, you know, this is strange because I want to move on my own way, I don't understand what's going on. As long as you ask God to protect you and to guide you and to lead you, he will do just that. He's not going to run off of people. He's not going to run off of people, you know, our normal thoughts. It don't work like that. His is much higher than ours. I'm trying to find the right thing to say, you know, but because my mind has a way of, you know, it goes into deep thought when I talk about God, because it's been so much things that he had brought me out, and there's so many things that I'm constantly learning. And I can't tell you how you see me right now in my natural state, my hair, I have no makeup on, I'm just sun-kissed right now. And you see me in my natural state. And I want to say, don't judge people off the natural state, because God is an inside out God. God works with you on the inside. He helps you. He protects you. He guides you. He heals you. He makes you whole. He starts with the inside, because people a lot of times go off the outer appearance. Oh, she should look like this. Oh, she should look like that. Oh, I should look like this to feel like them. Oh, I should look like this to fit in with them. I should look like this because social media say I should like this. I should like this because my family said I should look like this. I should look like how I'm supposed to look like. And once you recognize to love yourself despite of, like, a lot of people are going to have their opinions. And once you learn how to love yourself despite of, things like that won't matter to you. God will work with you on the inside. And just because people can't see that God is working on you, that's not your problem. Don't give in to those people. Let God continue to do a thing in you, because he's not finished with you yet. He's not finished with us yet. None of us are perfect. And I feel that, you know, a lot of times people get caught up worrying about somebody else's, what they should do, what they need to do, and they miss themselves. But stay humble. Unless they humble themselves, you know, you can miss the blessings. So I do want to say, like, be strong in yourself. Be powerful. Know who you are. Stand with a purpose. If you don't stand for anything, you'll fall for anything. Know who you are. Know who you created you. Know who's going to always be there for you. Always pick the best in your interest. Nobody knows your circumstances. Nobody knows what you've been through. Nobody knows what God is dealing with you with. But as long as you stay on course, stay on track, stay in your purpose, fight for yourself, stand up for yourself, then when you begin to understand who you are and the power that you endure. When people ask you who you are, you tell them who you are. Don't be afraid to tell them who you are. Don't be afraid to tell them what you like. And know what you like and know who you are. And that's very important in this world, because once you get over the obstacle, then you can start becoming. But until then, you're still stuck. And then you're going to stay stuck as long as you let the opinions of others and other people's lifestyles dictate how you should live and how you should be. You will always be in that rat race. But the moment you stick your hand out and say, hey, I'm different, and I'm different for a reason. I'm different for a purpose. You know, people didn't create me. You know, I know who my creator is. I know where I can go when I want answers to the things I need answers for. So that's my time. I have 15 minutes to spare, and just send me a like, subscribe, and comment what you want to hear next. Whatever you want me to talk about, I'm always open. And peace. Be good.